Hello and welcome to Enterclimate. My name is Shalin Verma, and in today's video we will be learning about the changes brought through the amendment of the rules for vehicle scraping. The Motor Vehicles Rule 2021 were amended in September 2022 to bring into force some of the crucial changes to make the legal scraping of old vehicles more accessible in India. The new rules were termed as Motor Vehicles Amendment Rules of 2022. These rules aim to reduce the number of old and defective vehicles from the roads, reduce vehicular air pollution, and fulfill India's climate commitments while improving road and vehicular safety. These rules also contained guidelines for environmentally sound management of end-of-life vehicles. Some other benefits that will be included with this are better fuel efficiency by discarding old vehicles and formalizing the vehicle scraping industry. The availability of low-cost raw materials for electronics, automotive and steel industry is also a possible benefit. So coming to the changes brought down by the amendment rules, let's discuss the changes mentioned in the sequence as given in the amendment. Now one can see that the sub-rule 2 in the rules, which stated that the IT systems for RVSFs or Register Vehicle Scraping Facility must have a necessary cyber security means for safe access to the Vahan database. This has now been omitted. Subsequent amendments have also been made in Sub-Rule 3 of Rule 4 that allowed registered vehicle scraping facility and connectivity to verify records of vehicles produced for scraping with the database of stolen vehicles of NCRB as well as with the local police. In this, the term as well as local police from the sub-rule has been omitted. So coming to Rule 6. In Sub-Rule 1 that laid down the registration procedure for registered vehicle scraping facility, Clause 2 that provided for 90 days in addition to the time for a security deposit. In this, the term plus 90 days has been omitted. Next we come to Sub-Rule 5 of Rule 7, which will now read as the registration issued under this rule and Rule 6 shall not be transferable instead of the registration issued under this rule shall not be transferable. Further, in the sub-rule B of the same rule, a detailed section has been added. So, the registered owner has to apply digitally to the Vahan database in Form 2. So, the registered owner has to apply digitally on Vahan in Form 2 to the RVSF. The documents mentioned must also be uploaded along with Form 2 by the RVSF. So these documents will include the address and identity proof of the owner, authorization letter on a stamped paper for authorized representatives as per para 5 if the vehicle is not handed over by the owner itself. Third, the identity and address proof of the authorized representative. Now, as a part of the same sub-rule, some responsibilities of the vehicle owners and the RVSFs have also been added. For instance, the vehicle must be submitted only with the original registration certificate and signed a digital undertaking as per Form 2A. The RVSF has to sign a digital undertaking as per Form 2B. Vehicles impounded by an enforcement agency must be handed over to the RVSF if they meet the criteria for vehicle scraping. RVSF, however, must perform database verification of the stolen vehicles held by NCRB and digitally pay the owner through an account payee check and obtain a receipt from the owner or his authorized representatives for the record. Also, the RVSF must deface or punch the registration certificate in the presence of the owner or his authorized representative. The RVSF must issue a digitally signed certificate of deposit at Vahan as a evidence of scraping. Next, the RVSF established in a state can accept the scrapping of vehicles registered in any other state or union territory. Moreover, the whole process will be seamlessly linked to the Vahan database on an all India basis irrespective of any location of any vehicle registering authority. Also, the certificate of deposit will be sufficient to avail the incentives for purchasing new vehicles, and the validity of the certificate will be 2 years and this will be electronically tradable too. The RVSF must facilitate the physical transmission of the original certificate of registration along with the certificate of vehicle scraping to the RTO in the state where the vehicle has been registered to get the vehicle registration cancelled, and must also have the cut piece of the chassis number in safe custody for at least 6 months from the issue of the certificate. They must maintain digitally scanned copies of all these documents for at least 10 years for record and examination during the inspection. Most importantly, RVSF must ensure the removal, recycling or disposal of hazardous part of the scraped vehicle. Most importantly, RVSF must ensure removal, recycling and disposal of hazardous parts of scraped vehicles is being done as per the guidelines issued by the CPCB for an environmentally sound management of end-of-life vehicles and AIS 129. A digital register for vehicles scrapped must be maintained in Form 3 of the rules. Now coming to the next amended provision, in Rule 11, Sub-Rule 1 that says RVSF after completing the necessary treatment will issue a digital certificate of vehicle scraping. This will include a digital photograph of the cutout of chassis in Form 4 to update the Vahan database. Earlier, these rules directed them to update the National Register too. Next, in Rule 13, Sub-Rule 8, Clause B. Next, in the Rule 13, Sub-Rule 8, in Clause B, the words shredding, shearing and baling has been omitted. In the same rule, Sub-Rule 12 now says that any individual may establish any collection center other than the scraping yard if the collection center undertakes activities such as depollution and dismantling. Then the requirements applicable for an RVSF will also apply to the collection center. In Rule 14, Sub-Rule 4, after the words registered scrapper, the terms and the operator of such facility shall bear the cost of the said audit and assessment have been added. This has been done because the earlier rules did not clarify who would pay the cost of the said audit. These are all the changes brought by the amendment rules. Now moving to the business aspect of this video, let's understand how to register a vehicle scraping facility in India. To do so, the applicant has to submit a duly filled application under Form 1 to the registration authority of the concerned state or union territory where the RVSF will be established. A non-refundable processing fees also need to be submitted. The documents and certificates required in this regard are duly filled Form 1, Certificate of Incorporation or Shop Act registration or Udyam Aadhar, GST registration, valid PAN, consent to establish an NOC or the proof of application, evidence of technical requirements for the collection dismantling centers as per the CPCB guidelines, proof of machinery required for depollution, consent to operate NOC from the concerned SPCB or an undertaking to obtain CTO within 6 months, undertaking to obtain the required quality certification within 12 months of starting the operation, the proof of occupation of premises like ownership deed, agreement proof or lease, and lastly approved layout plan. That's all for this video. I hope you found it informative. For more such information and any queries that you may have, contact Enterclimate from the details provided in the description section. You can also visit our website and explore our blogs on various environment related issues. You can also comment down below for any queries that you may have. At Enterclimate, we have an excellent team of experts who can assist you regarding registration and licenses for your business. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.